Jeremiah, how did you feel about your dad not being able to walk? Like, did you have a feeling or thought about it?
Yeah, like the first time when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I was like just sad, and it was like, cause the first time I saw him, he couldn't talk, couldn't walk, he couldn't move, and my mom, like when I was talking to him on the phone, my mom literally had to like lip read him. He couldn't talk to me, and it was like sad. I was like one time I was crying because of it.
And how do you feel now seeing the progress that he's making?
I feel good. I'm happy. I hope inshallah, he walks again.
Life is a journey full of highs, lows, and disappointments. I used to think that living my best life meant fast cars, wild nights, and endless parties. I chased the thrill, believing that happiness was found in the fleeting moments of excitement. But life has a way of teaching us what's really important. When I got shot, everything changed in an instant. I went from the top of the world to living in a hospital bed, unable to move, unable to do the simplest things I once took for granted. It's in these moments of stillness that I realize what life really is about. It's the love of the family and friends, the moments of laughter, the quiet times of reflection.
A 4-year-old man was shot early this morning near the corner of North Broad and West Muscombe Streets. He is in critical condition after being shot in the face, shoulder.
Dad, they've been waiting 3 years to hear the story. I think it's time.
Oh man, got a great story for y'all today, man. We got the one and only Mier Malik. Oh man, what's up, Mier Malik?
Chilling, bro. What's the deal?
How you feeling, man?
Figuring it out, man.
Oh man, you the epitome of strength. You the epitome of inspiration. Man, tell us how you maintain that strength, man, first of all, and continue to push the way you do.
My main mental with my strength is if I don't do it, nobody else gonna do it for me. That's number one. Number two is my son, my daughter. If I'm not able to do for them, I'm not able to do shit for anybody. So if I'm not moving, I'm losing. So mindset is to keep the ball rolling. That's it.
Okay, man. And for those that don't know, tell us, a little bit about your story and a little bit about your injury and how you got in this position.
Well, my level of injury, wait, let me back it up. First and foremost, I got shot 6 times. 4 in my right shoulder, 1 went under my underarm, crushed the right side of my vertebrae, tapped my spine, gave me a rare spinal cord disease called Brown-Sequard syndrome. And that's when the right side of your body is paralyzed and the left side could work. But while I was inside a coma, I was trying to wake up and I ended up having 2 strokes, 1 major, 1 minor, and that knocked out the left side of my body, which made me a quadriplegic when I woke up.
Okay, so after you came out of coma, you weren't able to do what?
Wasn't able to breathe on my own. I wasn't able to move. I wasn't able to do shit. I wasn't able to talk, nothing.
Damn,
For
man.
months. For months.
And now you're able to move your neck, you're able to move your arm, your right leg, and you're getting everything back day by day.
Day by day.
Oh,
Day by
man.
day. Every day. And the thing, what I try to tell people is, this is not going to be a 6-month ordeal. It might not be a year, 2 years, but the long story short is, if I don't move, I will lose. So you got to keep the ball rolling one way or the other. That's how I look at it. If this is the way God intended me to be, I'm going to be the best at it. That's it.
Let's go back. what was your life like before becoming a paraplegic, a quadriplegic? Excuse me.
Um, I got a lot of levels if we want to talk about my childhood, or do we want to talk about me as an adult? Right before that, we could talk. I'm trying. What
Well,
level? Where you want to go?
yeah. Well, just right before the injury, leading up to that, what I'm saying. What was your lifestyle like? Prior to the injury, like in recent years.
Well, I got shot 2020, November 6th, 2020. Um, I was living a life that these people are dying for. Um, I've done things that almost guaranteed people would never do ever in their life. I was winning. I was happy. I was doing my fucking thing. And I came back to Philadelphia. That was my worst fucking ordeal. I shouldn't have never came back. Jealousy got me put in a fucking wheelchair.
Okay, and for those that don't know, you was doing the rap thing. You was an artist, correct?
I apologize. Yeah, I used to rap. I used to, what do you call it? A content creator. I was that before anybody ever even spoke on this shit. I've been on the internet for the past 15 years. I've been doing my thing with all of this. Is like, I'm talking about merch. I was printing everybody clothes in the city. It's a lot of people clothes that y'all worn or wore. I mean, that you would have never known that was my influence and my hands that made it. So yeah, when it come down to the merch game in Philadelphia, I was a fucking king at it.
All right. So for those that may not know, from Philadelphia, born and raised, right?
All the way straight up and down.
What part of Philadelphia you grew up in?
Southwest Philadelphia.
Southwest Philadelphia. All right. Now let's go all the way back to childhood. What was it like growing up in Philadelphia, man? In your early days.
Growing up in Philadelphia, my childhood was like, it was all over the place. And, a lot of people, first thing they say out their mouth is, we struggle. We did this and that. We did this. I'm brown skinned. You already know my life was a struggle. We already know my life was a struggle. But one thing I can honestly say to the people is, I'm the third oldest of 13 children. You understand what I'm saying? And when I was with my brothers and sisters, like all of us, 10 of us inside of a fucking 3-bedroom house, that was the fucking best. I loved it. It was always fun. Like, either we was fucking reenacting the Jackson 5s, creating dance moves, play fighting, all types of that shit. That was my child. This is what I love. I can speak on the good because a lot of times we speak on the bad, but you got to tell the truth. And with that being said, I had a lot of hardships, and I can honestly blame my father for that shit. My father, I love him, but my dad was a bad fucking seed. My dad got paralyzed in 1993. I was the same age as Jeremiah. I used to take care of my dad like how Jeremiah take care of me. But my dad used to fucking abuse me, whether it was physical or mental. I never beat Jeremiah. I'd grind his little ass up, but I would never hit my son, and I never, ever get in his brain to make him feel like I hated him. Never. And that's a lot of shit that came with my parent, you know? And, I don't know if he's seen himself and he understand it, but you got to pay attention to how you treat your children, because when they get older, they ain't gonna never forget. And that's something I will never forget. But other than that, my childhood, based off of the way that my father treated me, that is how I grew and was able to deal with a bunch of bullshit that was going on out in the world. I was very good in school as a child. Elementary up to middle school. I got in fights and all that other shit, but I wasn't a bad kid. I got to middle school and I went to jail probably like the first 2 fucking weeks of going to middle school. So I ended up going to juvenile. I did like a year or 2, came home. I never went inside of a high school. I never walked inside of a high school. I promise you, I will challenge any woman, man with a college degree, and they'll be like, "You're lying." I'll be like, "I swear, I never walked inside of a high school."
So you were homeschooled?
Homeschool, I went to prison.
Okay.
I never got a GED. I'm self-taught.
Gotcha.
When I did 5 years of state. I did 3 years in the hole. And out of those 3 years in the hole, it was literally school. I would sell to the days. I would learn different languages. I know how to speak 3 different languages. How? I don't know, but I know how to do it. I can understand and literally comprehend and speak back in 3 different languages. I just say I wanted to do it. I didn't want to be dumb. I was very intrigued in a lot of stuff that's going on. I wanted to learn. I ain't never want to be the dude in the dark. So with that, I always strive to learn more than what they was giving me, because for real, these school books and all the shit they teaching you don't need none of that shit to live. You don't. You need basic comprehension. You need life skills. You need to know how to move these streets. You need to know how to count. And after that, just build. You build. It's all about what you want. That's what it is. But we talking about me and my childhood. Long story short, I did a lot of juvenile bids. I went to jail as a juvenile a lot. Fast forward, I never went to high school. Went to jail at 18 for accidentally killing my brother. I tried to take a gun away from a Glock 30. This was June 2005. I tried to take a gun away from my brother, and it was a Glock 30. It accidentally discharged, shot him in his head, killed him inside my grandma's house. I was sent to prison for it. I was, as I'm gonna tell you, I was wrongly fucking convicted. I was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, of a felony of the 2nd degree. I was never charged with a pistol. And when I was sent up, they gave me 7 years. And out of the 7 years, I did 5. And out of the 5 years, I did 3 years in the hole. And I put some paperwork in. Shout out to some old head by the name of Manny Strong. Manny Strong been in jail for over 30 years. Manny Strong was like, "Come here, young." He do law work. He was like, why are you in jail? And I told him why I was in jail. He was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in jail for that." He like, "Give me your paperwork. I'm gonna help you out." I gave him my paperwork. He put the PCRA in, which is called a Post-Conviction Relief Act. He put the PCRA in. They answered back within 6 months. Within 6 months, I was back in court. After I was back in court, I'm going to say it took a year max. I got in court. I was in the hole. I went back in front of the judge who sentenced me. She apologized to me. She said, "I apologize. I wrongly sentenced you. I gave you involuntary manslaughter under the felony of the 2nd degree, which did not fit the criteria of your case, of your charge. And the only way that I fit the criteria of the charge was if the victim was under the age of 12 and or in the custody of the person the cause of death."
That had to be some real trauma, man. How did you deal with not only being in prison, but having to deal with the death of your brother as well? How did that affect you?
That's why I ended up doing 3 years in the hole. That's why I did 3 years in the hole, because mentally I couldn't get it together. I couldn't get it together, and basically I couldn't come to the grips of what happened and why I was in jail and why my family let me go to fuck to jail. Like, they let me go to jail. And my thing is, they should have been able to fight for me.
Take us to the night of, this incident that you went through. What do you remember about that night?
Um, Honestly, I remember right before I got shot, I was in North Philly. I went to go see somebody. I went and seen them. Then I remember I drove to my mom's house because I was going back to California the next morning. And I was moving to California. I wasn't staying in Philly. I only came to Philly to get some money and go back to California. I remember I went to my mom's house and I said something to my brother. I gave my mom some bread and I said something to my brother. I said, watch over my mom. And I left. As soon as I left, I had to leave. Was going about like 5 blocks. I pulled up. I don't remember who called me. I don't remember how I got there. I don't remember why I was there. But I know I got there. I don't remember what happened inside the bar. I know that 2 women was with me. And I remember these 2 women that was with me. I remember I asked them if they wanted something from the Sunoco. They said no. And I went to the Sunoco. I got me something to smoke. And I came back and sat in the car. The detective told me, as I was sitting in the car smoking, somebody walked up with a hoodie and just started hitting me the fuck up while I was sitting in the car. Now I got shot 4 times in my right shoulder, once in my left wrist, and once in my right ankle. On the news, it said that I got shot in my face, but I don't remember it. But I can believe the nigga was trying to shoot me in my face because I got shot in my wrist, which means I blocked it. And I got out the car and I guess he just started hitting me up again. That's how I got shot twice in the back of my shoulder. And I don't remember nothing else. I don't remember. Only thing I remember something probably 2-3 months later, if that. I know I was in the hospital. I don't remember none of this shit.
So when was the moment that you realized that you were paralyzed?
One of the days that I woke up out the coma, I just don't remember the exact day. I know when I woke up, I was just like, I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. The machine was going off. I remember my ex was in there with me. Other than that, I don't remember how it felt or what it felt like. I just don't, I just don't remember.
Okay, and you was in a coma for how long?
I think like a month and a week.
All right, and after coming out of a coma, how long was it before you was actually able to get feeling again?
Like a year later.
It was like a year before you even started feeling.
It was like a year later. So I did actually more than a year later. I did 8 months in the hospital. 7 months on life support. I did 8 months in the hospital though. And when I went home, I was denied therapy because they told me I had something inside of my blood. So I was out of therapy for like a year. But I was in the house. I got videos of it. I posted, as a matter of fact. My fingers started moving. My toes started twitching. And once that started happening, my ex, she was like, we need to go get a second opinion, because they initially told me that I was a quadriplegic Asia A complete.
Which means you won't ever be able to walk
I
again.
won't be able to move or do nothing else again. So once my fingers started twitching and my toes started twitching, we went back to the doctor. And when we went back to the doctor, and the doctor checked over me, he apologized to me as well. And he said, I apologize. You're Asia B, incomplete. So Asia B is a step down from Asia A. Incomplete means I'm not done. So once I got that news, I got stronger mentally. I said, fuck that, I'm getting up. And every day since then, I've been fighting. Remember, it started off as a twitch in my finger. It started off as a twitch in my finger. Not only was it a twitch in my finger, it was a twitch in my toes. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of things changed, man. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful. I'm happy. You know what I mean? And my son witnessing all this shit. That's the best part. That's another thing. I got on a video with my son when he came to see me in therapy, and he didn't even know that my leg moved. When he seen my leg move, he was like, so yeah, that's where I'm at with it mentally, bro. I'm like, I gotta show my son it ain't no fucking giving up. It ain't no giving up. You got a problem with that math test, you better fight. You better learn it. You got a problem with something, you better figure it out. It ain't no giving up. We don't do that around here. Right?
Okay, so now, present day, you here, you moving, you working out, you inspiring other people. You know, man, what's the ceiling for you, man?
There's no ceiling. There's no ceiling. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be my life for the rest of my life. And what I mean, my life for the rest of my life is working to get stronger. I'm going to be 60 years old doing this shit. I'm never going to stop until I'm extremely strong, walking, feeling good, and doing what the fuck I'm used to doing. This is not me. This is not the way I want to be, but this is the way it is. And this is what I'm dealing with right now. But other than that, I'm getting the fuck up out this wheelchair. One way or the other, I'm getting up. Right, J Melvin?
Miracle Malik, man, your boy right here. You know what I mean? He helps you. He makes sure you get your bike in. You know what I
Come
mean?
on.
Jeremiah, what's up, man?
Also,
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. So this is who you do it for, man.
That's it.
You know, the name Miracle Malik, man. That really explains, you know, your story and who you are and what you represent. You know what I mean? And to see you keep fighting and keep being an example for other people and for your son, man, it's a great thing to watch, man. Um, Jeremiah, how did you feel about your dad not being able to walk? Like, did you have a feeling or thought about it?
yeah, like
Speak
when
up.
the first time when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, I was like just sad, and it was like Cause the first time I saw him, he couldn't talk, couldn't walk, he couldn't move. And my mom, like when I was talking to him on the phone, my mom literally had to like lip read him. He couldn't talk to me. And it was like sad. I was like one time I was crying because of it.
And how do you feel now seeing the progress that he's making?
I feel good. I'm happy. I hope inshallah he walks again.
Inshallah.
He will. I see it happening, man, because, you know, I see the strength. Not only do I see the strength, I see the will that he has and the work he's willing to put in. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it starts. And, you know, him showing others, it only makes sense for it to happen, for him to be the example. So, man, just you keep doing everything you can, keep helping him, you know, when nobody else there, you there to make sure he get that work in. Just keep doing that, man. And you know, it's a great duo. Yeah, man. So any last thing, man, Miracle, that you want to say to those that may be in your position or those that can possibly face, you know, a tough situation like this?
Keep your circle tight. Keep your energy. Keep the people around you. Make sure that their energy is up. Keep fighting. Don't never let nobody tell you what you can't do. And never, ever, ever, what, Jeremiah?
Give up.
That's my man. Give me a pair. That's it.
For sure, man.
That's it.
Appreciate you for sharing your story. Appreciate you for your time, man.
No doubt. Be out of there.